135-ton drill rig, Oak Island, most ambitious dig. 135 tons. Let that number sit for a moment. 135 tons of rotary drill rig sitting on top of the Oak Island money pit area, grinding through bedrock, limestone, and 2 centuries of collapsed searcher shafts, drilling deeper into this island than any machine, any person, or any technology in 230 years of searching has ever gone. And in Season 13, Episode 24 of The Curse of Oak Island, titled Overseeing the Dig and aired April 28, 2026, that rig is not warming up. It is not positioning itself. It is running, full capacity, targeting the most precise, scientifically identified location in the history of this investigation. A spot in the money pit area where underground water testing has detected the highest concentrations of silver and gold ever recorded on the island. But here is what makes this episode genuinely different from every other big dig this show has ever attempted. The team is not just drilling deeper, they are drilling smarter. They are drilling with a body of evidence behind them, from geological analysis, from overseas confirmation in the Portuguese Azores, from a mortar-sealed medieval stone feature on Lot 8, and from a sacred symbol connecting a Nova Scotia map to a relic from the crucifixion of Jesus Christ that points to one specific answer about who built the money pit and what they put inside it. And that answer changes everything about how you understand what this drill is actually reaching for. This is the episode breakdown you have been waiting for. Stay with me, because episode 24 is where everything season 13 has been building comes to bear on the deepest, most targeted, most evidence-driven dig in Oak Island history. Before we go a single step further, if you are not subscribed to this channel, do it right now. Season 13 has 2 episodes left after this one, and the next episode is titled Pure Gold. That title alone should tell you everything about what happens next. Subscribe, hit the bell, and do not miss it. Now let's get into episode 24. To understand why the massive dig launched in this episode carries the weight it does, you need to understand something that the show does not always take time to explain fully. The money pit on Oak Island is not just a deep hole. It is an engineered system. And the 135-ton drill rig now targeting it is not just digging, it is navigating. The original money pit was discovered in 1795 when 3 teenagers, Daniel McGinnis, John Smith, and Anthony Vaughan, noticed a circular depression in the ground and started digging. They found layers of flagstone, then platforms of oak logs at regular intervals as they went deeper. At 90 feet, according to the accounts preserved in historical records, they found a stone tablet inscribed with a cipher. At 93 feet, water flooded the shaft overnight, and the boys were forced to abandon it. They came back with the Truro Company in 1849. The Truro Company's pot auger pulled up fragments of oak, coconut fiber, and what the drillers described as metal in pieces, widely interpreted as gold or silver chain, at around 98 feet. Then the water flooded again. Every subsequent attempt over the next 2 centuries met the same fate. The flood tunnels, artificial channels engineered to fill the shaft with seawater the moment excavation threatened the deposit, defeated searcher after searcher. 6 people died trying to reach whatever is at the bottom of that pit. The curse of Oak Island, as it is traditionally counted, requires 7 deaths before the treasure can be found. 6 are already on the historical record. Season 13 represents the most technologically advanced attempt to defeat that engineering since the money pit was first discovered. ROC Equipment and Solatanche Bashi, Canada, arrived on Oak Island with a 135-ton telescoping drill rig to excavate the TPF shaft, a 7-foot diameter steel caisson aimed at reaching the solution channel more than 200 feet below the money pit. The approach involved an 8.5-foot diameter caisson for the first 130 feet, then narrowing to 7 feet for the remaining depth to target the solution channel at 230 feet. The rig runs a giant auger bit capable of grinding through the anhydrite and gypsum bedrock that has stopped previous attempts cold. And the entire program is guided not by hope or historical guesswork, but by the most precise geoscientific data this investigation has ever produced. Dr. Ian Spooner and Dr. Fred Michel detected the highest concentrations of silver and gold in the Money Pit area at a location where bedrock sits at approximately 160 feet, shallower than the deeper solution channel that the earlier caissons targeted. That is the MS-1 target, the Michel-Spooner shaft. Named for the two scientists whose underground water and soil testing pinpointed the location. And in episode 24, the team throws everything behind reaching it. Let me give you the full picture of what the team is working with in this episode, because this dig does not exist in isolation. It is the physical consequence of a chain of evidence that has been building all season long. And understanding that chain is what makes the drilling footage something more than impressive machinery. Right now, drop your name and where you are watching from in the comments, anywhere on the planet. I have viewers from across the globe who follow this mystery with the same obsession I do, and I want to see where you are. Your name and your location, go. I read every single comment. Earlier this season, when the team reviewed the results of their borehole and caisson program with Dr. Spooner and Dr. Michel, they acknowledged that while the previous shafts in the solution channel had been technically successful, none had produced the physical evidence of treasure the team hoped for. What those shafts did produce, though, was critical scientific data. A new drilling program targeting the solution channel at depths exceeding 200 feet confirmed elevated concentrations of elemental silver in the soil. 3 7-foot diameter caisson shafts were sunk over the course of the season, recovering sinking wood, iron, and chain from depths no previous searcher has reached. That sinking wood is worth pausing on. In the Money Pit area, the top pocket find shaft broke through the bedrock ledge at roughly 175 feet and entered the solution channel. At around 186 feet, Gary Drayton, Terry Matheson, and Rick recovered a piece of wood that sank immediately in water, a test Dan Blankenship relied on to distinguish old wood from searcher-era material. A dense iron artifact surfaced at 193 feet, well below any known searcher depth. Billy Gerhardt spotted shaped wood at approximately 195 feet, set against dry material adjacent to wet slurry, which Alex Legina and Craig Tester interpreted as evidence of a nearby open void. Wood that sinks in water is old wood. Wood saturated with centuries of mineral content, dense from decades of compression. And it came from nearly 200 feet underground, well past any depth reached by the Victorian-era searchers whose collapsed equipment and debris litter the upper sections of the pit. That wood was placed there, or it was part of something constructed there. And the iron artifact at 193 feet was below any known searcher depth. Nobody in the recorded history of the Money Pit search got that far down. That iron artifact does not belong to any searcher. It belongs to whoever built this. Then there is the underwater camera footage from the Peacock area, one of the most quietly extraordinary moments of Season 13 that does not always get the attention it deserves. An underwater camera recorded what appeared to be man-made workings and metallic objects inside a 10-foot void at 150 feet. A 10-foot void at 150 feet, with what appeared to be metallic objects inside it. That is not a geological formation. That is a chamber. And whatever is in that chamber has been sitting in the dark, 150 feet underground, in salt water, waiting for a drill bit that can reach it. Episode 24 is that drill bit arriving. If you are finding this breakdown valuable, if this is giving you the depth and context that a 42-minute episode cannot always deliver, please hit the like button right now. It takes 2 seconds, it costs you nothing, and it genuinely helps this channel reach more Oak Island fans. Every like matters. Thank you. Now let's talk about what makes this dig different from every previous attempt, because the technology is extraordinary. The 135-ton telescoping drill rig is capable of grinding through the anhydrite and gypsum bedrock below 150 feet that is dense enough to stop drill bits and slow even the most advanced previous equipment. The operation replaced the hammer grab with a giant auger bit mounted on the rotary drill rig. Material excavated from inside the caissons is removed by a hammer grab, a long cylinder with metal jaws at its base that is lowered by crane and closed around soil, rock, and debris. The process of examining each load of spoils as it surfaces has produced many of the search's most significant artifact recoveries. Every bucket of material that comes out of that shaft is a potential find. Every load of spoils from 200 feet underground in the money pit is material that has not seen the surface in centuries.
For years, the criticism of this show was fair. Too much speculation, too many dramatic pauses before commercial breaks, too many theories treated as discoveries. And there were seasons where that criticism landed. But season 13 is different. Not in its production style. The dramatic music and the teasing cuts to black are still there, but in the quality and specificity of the evidence being produced. A 135-ton drill rig guided by geoscientific water and soil testing to a target with confirmed elevated silver and gold concentrations is not television drama. That is an engineering decision based on real data. A medieval stone platform under a 40,000-pound boulder, dated by independent specialists using mortar analysis, is not a theory. That is an archaeological finding. 3 stone shots traced by a university geologist to the Portuguese Azores, recovered from over 100 feet underground in the money pit, are not a narrative convenience. Those are physical objects with laboratory provenance. Season 13 has been a season of convergence. Each individual piece of evidence, the Pit Blotto coin, the stone shots, the sacred symbol, the Azores expedition, the Lot 8 feature, the silver-bearing soils, the medieval dates, would be interesting on its own. Together, organized into a single coherent investigation with scientific method behind each step, they constitute the most serious, most evidentially grounded case for the identity of the money pit builders that this investigation has ever assembled. And the 135-ton drill targeting the Michelle Spooner location in episode 24 is the physical consequence of that case being taken seriously. This is what 230 years of searching has been building to. Before I close this out, I want to give you the full context on what comes next, because the episode title that follows episode 24 tells you everything about the direction of this season's finale. Episode 25 of season 13 is titled Pure Gold. The Oak Island team makes an astonishing revelation on Lot 8 and multiple treasured discoveries in the money pit area. Astonishing revelation on Lot 8. Multiple treasured discoveries in the money pit area. After everything season 13 has built, the 135-ton drill, the MS-1 target, the Azores confirmation, the Lot 8 medieval platform, the 4 stone shots, the sacred symbol, the silver and gold concentrations. The season finale carries a title that, if it means anything at all, means the drill reached something real. And that thought, the thought that after 230 years, the drill might finally have reached something real, is what makes watching Oak Island in Season 13 feel different from watching it in any previous season. I have followed this show since the beginning. I have watched every theory arrive with great excitement and leave with unanswered questions. I have seen Rick Lagina's face fall at the bottom of empty shafts more times than I want to count. But in Season 13, the look on his face has been different. More settled. More certain. The look of a man who has been following a trail in the dark for a very long time and can now see, not the treasure itself, not yet, but the shape of the room it is in. The 135-ton drill rig in episode 24 is the most powerful piece of equipment ever deployed in the Money Pit area. The MS-1 target is the most scientifically precise location the team has ever drilled. The evidence behind this dig is the most coherent and multidisciplinary body of physical and documentary proof the investigation has assembled in 13 seasons. And the episode that follows is titled Pure Gold. 230 years, 135 tons, and an answer that may finally be close enough to touch. Before you go anywhere, scroll to the comments right now and tell me your name and where in the world you are watching from. And tell me this, do you think the Season 13 finale delivers a real discovery? Or does Oak Island hold its secrets one more season? Give me your honest answer. Tell me your theory about what is in that money pit. I will be in those comments reading every response and replying to as many as I can. This community is one of the most thoughtful groups of people I have ever had the privilege of talking to about history, and I genuinely look forward to every conversation we have. If this breakdown gave you something real, a connection, a detail, a reason to believe that Season 13 is genuinely different from everything that came before it, please like this video, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe if you have not already. The Season 13 finale is coming. I will break it down with the same depth you got today. And something tells me that breakdown is going to be one for the ages. 135 tons. 230 years. The most ambitious dig in Oak Island history. Let's find out what is down there. Keep digging.